Well, hello, Pat. I thought I'd do a short little video for you with the core of my proposal. And again, I just want to remind you that this type of a presentation, of a proposal presentation, is what I would help you create. Like I actually create the PowerPoints, I interview you and maybe people on your team to understand, the best way for you to go to market. And I think you should be doing a different kind of an orientation and a proposal presentation that'll help you sell more of the people you get in front of, and this will also help you get in front of more people. So this proposal is all about growing your business results on the way to maximizing the selling price of your business. So to kind of recap, what I understood is some of your primary issues. Sales activity is down, your marketing is down, revenue is down. Your sales and marketing to your current and past clients could probably use an upgrade and getting reanimated to reach them in a more powerful way. There's also, I think, no standard and best selling presentations. I think you talked about being the rainmaker, which is very, very typical, but I'd love to create tools that even non-professional salespeople can do a really good job if they follow kind of a script or a presentation, or here's what we use to talk to clients. So again, what I'm showing you is an example of the kind of work product that I would create for you. And you also said a couple different times, a couple different ways, you felt your team wasn't on board, they weren't sufficiently engaged. So that's something I want to address that's in this proposal too. Another issue you brought up is the competitive landscape has changed from when you started the business years ago, and maybe we have to address that and just be realistic and thoughtful about what other people are doing and land on what you guys do really well and how do you tell your story better. And you also said that you have trouble getting your team to do certain things in terms of outreach and marketing, even getting quality candidates. You felt there was some gaps there. So I think there's a way to support you in who your team is and how they're working, and that's something we'll touch on a little bit too. So is all that accurate, what I just said there? Is that what we talked about? And did I miss anything really important? So I'm going to be proposing a two-pronged process. One, the core of it is a sales and marketing toolkit development. And I do all of this work. I create the presentations, I create an orientation presentation, proposal presentations, tools for you and your team to use. I'll train your people how to use these, create the kind of the guidance and the scripts that go along with the presentation. So you end up converting more of the people you get in front of. The second thing that I wanted to propose was some coaching for you. Because again, I've built businesses, I've built teams, I've had to hire and train and supervise and manage and fire and all of that. And that might be a real valuable thing, just to have somebody in your corner that you can just share what's going on, who you have issues with, and we can start to open up and look at solutions and different ways to help you manage in your business. That's the kind of the real key to what I usually do. I'm working with the business owners, and we have coaching calls along with the development work we're doing. So this is just a partial list of some of my Connecticut clients. I've done projects and I've got clients all around the country, but this was just a handy list. A lot of businesses that I've been successful in approaching and getting my idea across and selling them, and getting ink and revenue from a lot of different kind of clients. Here's a couple just little testimonials, and I sent you a couple pages of testimonials, but they uniformly, I'm helping people grow their business, I'm helping them raise their rates, I'm helping them with their mindset, I'm helping them with how they go to their business. So I'm not going to read these, but you could pause the video if you wanted to read them. So the idea of growing your business and developing your business so that a buyer will look at your business and say, wow, this is really cool what they're doing. I think I want to buy these people. Again, this is all in service to driving sales and earnings on the way to get a bigger business sale for you. One of the big pieces is to create really compelling presentations. Again, there's the orientation presentation, which is the first time you or your team have either a face-to-face meeting or it could be a Zoom meeting, but it's the first real substantive one-on-one or one-on group where you're teaching them about your business. So this shows your prospective clients that you're the best solution for their HR outsourcing and the other services you provide. These presentations will boost your professional presence in the marketplace and will make it easier for your clients to say yes to you. So we actually are going to teach them how to buy HR services because they don't really know. We're going to teach them the best way to do it. Along with my program, you get an in-person version, which would be like a flip book, a flip chart, where we're going to have a printed version of the PowerPoint deck that you walk people through a slide at a time. And they'll also create a Zoom version for you that we'll be able to practice together, practice with your team so they all get confident. And that's another big part of this is we build everybody's confidence about telling a great story about your company. The second big component is that we're going to build in some memorandum of understanding language. So it's built into your proposals and your contracts, but this is so that the programs that you provide for your clients, every client will provide you really great testimonials and introductions to new clients. And I'll show you an example of my MOU language in a few more slides. But we're going to build this in. This is how I built my energy business nationally. Every project, at the end of every engagement, I got referrals and I got testimonials. And the customers understood that at the beginning of the engagement. So that's critical. We're also going to take kind of some of your internal processes of how you serve your clients, and we're going to turn them around and have them be client facing. And by doing this, it gives the client a lot of confidence that you've got a program, they know what's next. Here's an example of what I do, and we've kind of done this. We have our initial one-on-one meeting. I put together a roadmap or a model and a proposal for what you need and what we can do. We review how we're going to work together. We might look at what's the upside? Like if we really did a good job with this, what kind of revenue is that going to return to your company? Then I'll give you an invitation for us to work together. We begin our calls, we begin our work. So the idea of having this client-facing process in a proposal and in an orientation, we get to tell the clients we've created this process. So there's a tremendous amount of quality control. You can count on us. We're going to go through this together, and you know what all the steps are, what the next step is going to be. So that's an important piece. Another piece of this is just developing different documents and processes. I usually will help you create a client profile form that's a combination of the client demographic and contact information, but also the critical questions that you and your team need to ask a client to qualify the opportunity to see if they're a good match for you. But it also has some of the key communications that you need to deliver. So it's a really great tool that goes along with developing a client, and it just helps you and everybody do a better job for your outreach and for these conversations. I'll also be developing for you and your team mini campaigns. And again, we talked about this, but that's a combination of phone calls, emails, letters, postcards, real mail, all different set of tools programmed over time that help you get the first appointment with the decision maker. And then from there, we get to use the orientation presentation, and then you develop your proposal, and then there's a proposal presentation that will develop. So all these things help you get in front of people and help you close more people. And also everything that we do, and I'm proposing a 90-day initial engagement, everything we do in the first 90 days develops this whole foundational toolkit. The second 90 days is the partner marketing, where we take all these tools, but we go after, it could be CPA firms or law firms or other associations and places that serve the clients that you want to be in front of, and we get them to introduce you to their clients as a valued resource. So that's a huge piece of work, but we're not ready to do that yet. We got to do the foundational work first. So I'm just pointing to phase 2. Again, we get other businesses, organizations, and associations to promote you. So you're not working so hard to be the rainmaker. We got other people that are bringing you to their attention. And again, this is part of my idea of how to support you, is just we'll have regular coaching conversations 3 or 4 calls a month just to help you keep on track, moving towards the goals that you determine you want, help you with your team and your management issues. I've been doing this for 20 years with CEOs. I actually had my own coach for 10 years as I was building my business, so I really believe in this. But this is a way to just have a regular time out where you're looking from the 30,000 foot perspective. You're flying over the landscape and you get to look down and work on your business versus, most of the week and most of a month you're busy working in your business. So this is a great tool to support you in your awareness and your perspective and looking at your business with a little more objectivity. So recap in the first 90 days, great presentation tools, a memorandum of understanding that will create an agreement with your clients to give you new clients and testimonials and great introductions, client-facing process checklists, which is an important part of your presentations, documents, processes, mini campaigns, coaching calls, and all of that we do in 90 days, and that lays the groundwork for phase 2, which is getting you a tremendous amount of marketing leverage from marketing partners. So one of the really exciting things about this is that this is just what you pay for this program one time, but you'll be using these processes and documents for years and years as you go to market. Your team will be using this. The more your team uses it, the more valuable that makes your business if you don't have to be the one doing all the sales and the marketing. So here's this a little subset of my agreement and my memorandum of understanding. Within the first 3 months of our engagement, and conditional upon your complete satisfaction in our work together, I'm going to ask you, Pat, to give me permission to do some of these things. So the first thing is a little testimonial. You can either do that by video or in writing. What I usually do is I'll interview you, let's say 90 days out. I'll ask you a bunch of questions, and then I'll take your answers and I'll ghostwrite a testimonial for you. You get the final editorial approval and let me know whether or not I can use that. But you don't even have to write it. So I make that really easy for you. And I'm also going to be asking you to consider making 3 or more good potential introductions for me for the kind of work that we're doing together. So that's built into my agreement with my clients, and I want to have this built into your agreement with your clients. It's a very powerful, very bold thing, but it's very effective. So here's a couple other clients. This guy I worked with, he more than doubled his revenue in the first few months of working with me. Here's another attorney I worked with, just a solo practitioner. He got over $50,000 bump in his income by working with me for a handful of months. Here's another company that does mortgages, and I helped them launch a new office and bring a new guy on board. Taught them referral systems. We did partner marketing. We did business from past clients. Really changed their results. They went from 4 to 6 deals a month to 7 to 10 by working with me in my process. So I've got a lot of more testimonials if you want to hear about those. But I want to check in with you here, just like, how does this sound so far? Could you imagine having these tools in place if I've explained them appropriately, helping you and your team bring in new sales? And what would be the value of bringing in like 1 new client per quarter, whether it's a executive headhunting kind of a position placement, or whether it's just more outsourcing, with a group that really needs some support. What would the value of that be to your business? And then we take that number and multiply it, because in a business sale environment, you're going to be getting a multiple of your results. So, I want you to just kind of noodle around a little bit on what would the value be of that. So I'm going to pause here before we get into the money part, because the money doesn't matter in terms of my fees. Like, it doesn't even matter if you don't have any interest or see the value in what I'm proposing. So I'm actually going to pause this video here and leave it to you to take the next step to see if this is something that you'd want to pursue, that you can see this helping you build your business and get you ready for a really meaningful exit with a lot of money for you.